If you have a desire to become a better version of your current self, then this podcast is for you. I share with you helpful thoughts, tips, and stories surrounding fitness and self-improvement which you can apply to your life today. So for those of you that want to take control of your life, to learn, to grow, to become that which you desire most, I am your host, Connor Malone, and this is the pursuit of constant improvement. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you how to improve the very skill that is so often pursued by so many people with their own self-improvement, and that is confidence. Because confidence, whether we like it or not, is a rare skill. Other people will appear to be confident on the outside, but having true confidence is such a valuable thing. It's such a highly pursued thing, and for good reason. Because if we have confidence in life, it projects. It helps us with absolutely everything. Now, this is something that I have struggled with throughout my life, particularly my younger adult life when I was a teenager, going into college and all these things. I've always struggled with confidence, especially from a self-confidence perspective. From what I'd achieved in school was very poor standard. I was very unacademic, was shite in school, left school, had a physique I was terribly unhappy with, extremely skinny, very light. I was never, as I said, intelligent. So in terms of pursuing the things I wanted to pursue, I never could. Well, at least I felt like I never could because I never had that knowledge. However, now over 6 or coming on 7 years of self-improvement and constant work, constant improvement, I've totally transformed that. And I can tell you that by the fact I'm sitting speaking to you today in front of a camera. Now, I don't know if you ever have had the experience of trying to record in front of a camera before, but it's not as easy as it seems. It requires a little bit of confidence. You require to be confident in what you're talking about. So I mean it when I say it. I've came from a position where I lacked any form of confidence and could never dream about doing this and putting myself online to give other people advice, because then you're open to criticism. I could never have dreamt of that. And now to be in the position where I can comfortably do that and feel confident in that, I feel very proud of myself. So I want to share with you the top lessons that I've learned, how I've learned those lessons, what they mean, and how you can action them in your own life to start becoming a more confident person, to start building unbreakable confidence, because everybody wants confidence. Now, confidence, of course, can come in many different ways. It can be self-confidence, but what I'm going to be speaking about today is the confidence in the term of valuing yourself and feeling worthy, regardless of any imperfections or what others may believe about you. Because a lot of people believe themselves to be confident, but then as soon as someone criticizes them or says something about them, whether it's true or not, they get offended, they're up in arms. However, a truly confident person can stay calm. When others accuse them of things that isn't true, or people criticize them, they stay calm. That's actually not included in this today, but it is a really important lesson I learned. I've seen it in people when people would be aggravated and people would try to annoy them, people would spread gossip or whatever. The people that remain calm are the people that have true confidence. Confidence isn't always what you see in how people walk around. It is in how they feel. So if you're listening to this episode and all you want is for people to perceive you as confident, it's a totally different thing to feeling genuinely confident inside you. Now, you can go ahead and pursue that if you want, but I would highly advise is confidence in the realm of feeling it yourself, because it does. It gives you that aura. It gives you that sense that you are confident in yourself. So one will lead to the other rather than the other way around. So the very first lesson or principle I'm going to go into today is the idea of doing the things that you say you're going to do. And this has become popular in the past few years because there's quotes from Hormozy, one of which I'll share with you in a moment. A lot of other guys have always spoke about this, but it couldn't be more true. When we start to fulfill the promises we make to ourselves, we improve self-belief, which in turn can improve confidence. Because if you're somebody who constantly says, I'm going to do something, and you never end up doing it, you will never be confident. So think of yourself right now. How many times have you said to yourself, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that? And you've never ended up doing it. Yet you sit there and you think, oh, I'm just not confident enough. Well, no wonder. Because you're never following through on your promises. You're never following through on these little things. It doesn't need to be the big promises. It's the small things that eat away with you, from you over time. Now, the quote that Alex Hormozy said that went viral a couple of years ago, it's a great quote, explains this very well. He said, you don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Now, if you are somebody who is career-driven, you're somebody who is involved in business, or somebody that loves athletics or going to the gym, to be confident in any of those areas or fields, you have to have proof that you do those fields, that you are good at those fields. So in the gym, for example, your physique. What does your physique reflect? Does it reflect that you go to the gym? That will make you confident. So if you're the type of person that says, oh, I'm going to the gym X amount of times per week, I do this, I do that, but you never follow through in your word, you're never going to be confident in it. You're never going to be confident in your physique if you're not spending enough time in the gym. So these small promises are what you need to fulfill in order to build that proof. You need to stack proof. And one of the things he says really well is outwork your self-doubt. So I used to have a lot of doubt about my physique and how my posture and how I appeared. However, when I started to outwork that, when I started to train harder, train more often, started to build my physique, started to work on my posture, started to work on my knowledge so I was more confident in front of people, I started to build proof. Oh wait, you are good at this. You are the type of person that you say you are. So that is one of the first things I want you to know about confidence. If there is no proof to support a belief, you're never going to actually fully believe that. That's all beliefs are. If we truly believe something, it's because there is proof there. Whether it's true or not, there is something there in your mind that is leading you to believe something. Something that somebody reminded me of quite recently actually is like our beliefs are never, we don't choose our beliefs. Our beliefs come from our experiences and the environments we're in, but also from proof that we are shown. And one of the ways, of course, to change your beliefs, to change your own self-belief, your own self-confidence, is to provide that proof of that you are who you say you are. So what do you lack confidence in? Like, is it the way you look? Well, then what is there to support anything otherwise? Well, maybe you are out of shape. Maybe that is why you lack confidence in it. You just need to accept that and you need to work towards it. Maybe it's with your career that you lack self-confidence. Well, why is that? Maybe it's because you haven't progressed in a number of years. Maybe it's because you know you're not putting the effort you should be putting in. So you need to outwork your self-doubt. But don't just become confident. Like, you're never going to get confident, as he says in the quote, by shouting affirmations in the mirror. It isn't about standing in front of a mirror and saying, I am confident, I am confident. It's about putting in the work, outworking your self-doubt, and creating that proof that you are who you say you are. So whatever you want to be, start to work towards that. Start to gather proof of that. So it's like in football. When I used to watch football, everybody used to argue who's better, Messi or Ronaldo or whatever. Both of them believed they were the best because they had a stack of undeniable proof. They had all the accolades, all the goals, all the stats, all of these things to back up that proof. So if you want that same level of confidence, you have to build up proof in whatever it is that you lack confidence in. Again, outwork your self-doubt, figure out what you want to be, who you want to be, start to align your actions with that, and then that's how you start to build proof of that going forward. Now, one of the questions someone asked me once, I took note of this, is if you wanted to be confident, you have to act like a confident person. So in terms of look at somebody who has confidence, how do they act? What do they do? Maybe they get up early, maybe they don't, that's fine. What is it they do? Maybe they go to the gym, maybe they read, maybe they spend time working on themselves. What is it that confident people do that makes them confident? Because I can tell you something for sure, they do not sit in their bed all day and scroll through their phone. Again, it's their actions that make them confident. It's their actions that build up that belief for them that they are who they say they are, that they are a confident person. One of the main things that we'll keep going through, so this is point number 1 and point number 2 and point number 3 and everything else in this episode will be this phrase of acta non verba, which is Latin for actions, not words. Again, you do not grow confidence by shouting affirmations in the mirror. You grow it by doing the things you say you're going to do. So whatever it is, you have to act. Actions, not words. I have no tattoos, right? But see, if I was going to get one, that is exactly what it would be. Actions, not words. Because I'm just like everybody else. I like to talk. I like to say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But I need to catch myself and think, fuck, stop talking about it. Go and do it. Everybody talks a big game. But if you can actually follow through in your word, that's where the confidence comes from. Everybody says, I'm going to do this. Everybody says, I'm going to do that. The people that follow through in it are the people that thrive with their own self-confidence. So if you want to become that type of person, acta non verba. Actions, not words. Now, one of the things I've done for this, and relating to what I just said there, when you look at a confident person, what is their routine? Look back at your own routine. What is there in your routine that would give you confidence? Right now, there might be very little of anything. So what are you going to bring into your routine? What are the actions and habits that you're going to do on a regular basis that are going to start to build up that proof? If you start to do that, you'll start to become the person that does the things he says they're going to do, and you'll build up that proof that you are who you say you are. Now, principle number 2 is the idea of knowing what you're doing. Now, that sounds very simple, and it is. If you know what you're doing, you become confident in it. If you're prepared, you become confident. My dad always says to me, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. If you turn up to something, you're like, oh, I'm nervous, or maybe not, you're just nervous, you're like, oh, I'm totally lacking confidence here, whatever. It's likely because you haven't prepared enough. With preparation comes confidence. So if you know what you're going to do, you know where you should be, you know what you should be doing, that's how we gain confidence. So a lot of people, I'll ask them about their goals. People sit down with me in a consultation for coaching, and they'll say, I say, what do you want to achieve? And like, well, I would like to lose weight. I would like to do this. I'd like to do that. And I can sense like a lack of confidence in their tone. And the reason is, first of all, because they've not done the things they said they're going to do. So principle one, but also because they don't know what they're doing. James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits that it's the systems that get us to our goals, not the goal itself. Everybody has the goal of wanting to lose weight. It's the systems that help you get there. If you don't have those systems, you're never going to feel confident. That's part of my job as a coach, is to provide people with the systems, is to provide people with the structure that they can be confident in. If they're not confident in the structure I give them, then they're not going to be confident at all. Whereas when you start to do the things you say you're going to do with the structure that you're confident in, wow, your confidence goes through the roof. Because you're doing what you know what you need to do. You're starting to get results because of the structure you're following. And then guess what? Confidence comes along with it. So again, when I say know what you should be doing, know what you're doing, it comes back to your routine. Like, what are you doing and why are you doing it? Like for me personally, if I look at, like, business is a big thing for me, okay? So if I look at my coaching, what am I doing on a weekly basis to improve my coaching business? So I need to look at, right, well, I check in on my clients at this time every week. I do my weekly upgrades at this time every week. This is the time I work on the business. If I didn't have any of that there, I would have zero confidence in growing it whatsoever, because I'm like, well, there's no proof. There's nothing there. I don't know what I'm doing. So we have to understand that with our routine, with the habits that we do on a daily basis, we have to understand what we're doing, because it gives us a great deal of confidence with there. There's a guy called William James, actually, who speaks about habits a lot. And Jim Rohn quotes him all the time, and he talks about success being a relative term. So with success being a relative term, all that means is that basically success means different things to different people. Some people will be successful if they raise a great family. Some people will have a great business. Some people will be spiritual, whatever it happens to be. But one of the other things he said with regards to success is that success is when you progress towards an outer idea. So in the sense that if you know what you're doing and you start to make progress towards that, that is success. With success can come confidence. So once you start to have that idea of where you're going and what you have to be doing, and you start to actually progress towards that, you gain a great deal of confidence because you're succeeding. So always remember that. Once you know where you want to be, you start progressing towards that. That's success. It's a great element of success. Some people struggle with that because for some reason people want to know the answer to that. What is success? It's different to different people. But to me, that's a great way to define it. You have an outer idea that you're pursuing, and anything that pushes you closer towards that is your measurement of success. Now, principle number 3 is get comfortable being uncomfortable. Of course, when you lack confidence, the very worst thing you can ever imagine is being uncomfortable. But if you can't become uncomfortable, and if you can't practice that, you're never going to progress. I was never comfortable standing in front or sitting in front of a camera. If I had just said, right, I'm not comfortable doing that, I'm not going to do it, I was never going to get better. To this very day, I still get a little bit nervous before I record. But I'm getting better and better and better because I'm getting uncomfortable. Every time I step in front of a camera, I practice that. I am getting comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm so used to it now. So I'm becoming better at it. It's the same like when you think of a physical basis, like an ice bath. An ice bath isn't comfortable, but if you want to be good at them and you want to reap the benefits of it, you do it more often. It could be going up and speaking to people. Of course, that's a different area of confidence we start to talk about there, but talking to more people. Understanding that rejection is just redirection. So if somebody says, no, not interested, whatever, that's fine. But it's a great way to gain confidence, is getting outside your comfort zone. For me, one of those things was going out and not drinking. I used to always believe that I couldn't do it. And a lot of people can't because they feel awkward standing in a room when they're not half cut. So what can you do to get out your comfort zone and get comfortable being uncomfortable on a weekly basis? And for me, one of the things I want to do is stand up and talk in front of more people, do more public speaking things. And that's something I'm going to pursue within the next year to improve my confidence. So again, get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's in the discomfort that we grow. It's in the discomfort that we improve, especially when it comes to confidence. Now, I've quick fired those at you today, but the main principle that kept repeating itself throughout was the idea of acta non verba. Actions, not words. As I said, if I was going to get any tattoo, it would be that. So when it comes to confidence, disregard anything that isn't followed by action. All the things I've spoke about today may sound good to you. You may be like, oh yeah, I can be uncomfortable more or whatever. You have to action it. If there's no action, nothing changes. So always remember that. Actions, not words. Less talking, more acting. Now, the quote I want to leave you with today directly speaks about that in terms of actions. It's by James Clear, and he says, "You know yourself mostly by your thoughts. Everyone else in the world knows you by your actions." So when we think about people's opinions of us, now, never should we value them too much, but when we think about how people perceive us and the way people see us, they see us based off of our actions, not off of our words. Nobody's going to think that you're a better or more confident person because you're always saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, unless you actually go ahead and do it. So it's a really well relatable quote. Again, you've built up this idea in your head that you're this type of person. If you actually want to be that type of person, you have to act. You're known for your actions, not for your thoughts, not for what you say. So again, relating it back to that same quote. Now, I hope as ever this episode has helped you. I never intend for these episodes to be a step-by-step guide of how to do something. I just share my experiences, things I've learned, and hopefully that can at the very least inspire a thought in your head to help you go ahead and improve your own confidence levels like it did for me. So whatever it happens to be from this episode, I hope you apply it into your own pursuit of constant improvement, and I will see you in the next one.